Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? GM. And let me just do a quick mic check, make sure everything's working. I think we're good. Let me know in the chat. I don't know if, oh, here it is. Hope you guys are having a good morning. I had to get a couple things started today. So we did get a little bit of a late start, but it's 7:22 a.m. on 7/22/2025. Everything is aligning, man. It's a good day. It's Taco Tuesday on top of that. So happy Taco Tuesday. Hope you guys are going to get some tacos in. Depending on where you're at in the world, you might be halfway through the day. But either way, I appreciate you guys pulling up and supporting the stream. We got 12 of you in here. If you guys could repost and maybe tag a friend or something like that, get them involved. We're going to be taking a look at the market, take a look at the price action, any kind of news, some of the bookmarks I have collected on here. You know, the typical, market updates and everything that we do with Solana Made Simple over here. But again, if this is your first time to GM Chat, welcome. I'm SMS, and this is GM Chat presented by SMS Live. The reason I say SMS Live is if you guys got an idea for a show, if you want to join the show or you want to collaborate on something, I'd be more than happy to help you produce that and get it out here. I have a good time streaming. I've been working on this for over a year and a half now. I wasn't one of the people that jumped in this year and like, oh, you should stream. No, we did this shit back in 2024 when they put video into spaces and stuff like that. So this is nothing new. And that's why it's seamless for me to be able to stream twice a day, be able to also host spaces and do all of that fun stuff. But there's a method behind the madness. This isn't just by accident. But again, I'm SMS to kick you off morning with Solana Made Simple, the latest in Bitcoin, Solana, and crypto and Web3 news, guys. Welcome to the show. Most of the shows I do, whether it's a stream or a space, I usually start with a quote of the day, like just get the mindset and everything aligned on the same page with everybody watching. I think that energy carries over. And I'm just one of those people that I spend my first hour of the day kind of getting the whole day set, even if I've planned the day prior from Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday to make sure that, today kind of is executed smoothly. I'm always kind of focused in on that. But the reason I like to do this again is the main point: focus and concentration and executing. So the quote of the day goes like this: focus and concentration are the two keys of success in life. To focus clearly means having a crystal clear vision of what you want. No confusion, no second guessing. It's about zeroing in on single-mindedly. I can't read. It's about zeroing in single-mindedly on that one goal or task, pushing aside distractions, doubts, diversions that try to pull you off your course. When you master this kind of unwavering focus, you build a foundation to achieve what others only dream about. And that couldn't be more true. For instance, yesterday, I got catcalled by this chick in the neighborhood. She's cute, I ain't gonna lie. I did say what's up, but I kind of just kept it pushing, and I figured, if I see her again, maybe I'll say something. But my point was, like, I know it's cool, I know it's easy, but if I'm walking back for the gym, I got things I need to do, I have stuff I wanted to get done. If I would have focused in on that, I probably would have been hanging out with homegirl, and she might be here right now, and I might not be doing the space right now or the stream because I'd be busy being distracted by these other things. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying, don't take your chances or have fun or live your life or anything like that. But when you have serious goals and intentions and a direct focus on where you want to go, those other things like that is a complete distraction. Like, there's a chick at the gym. She's Paige. She's really cute. I actually do want to talk to her. She was like, hey, we should hang out or stay at the gym later or whatever. Just flirting with me every single day. It's always the same thing. I haven't acted on it. I haven't pushed it. I haven't pressed it. I just smile and keep it pushed. Keep it 100. Just because, like, I know there's a couple different things. If I, get into some kind of relationship, it's going to take so much of my focus away from what I'm already doing, and I'm maxing things out as best I can. The other part about that is, I don't want to be into a position of summer love and start questioning, like, do I want to go to, follow through with these decisions and then maybe live to regret them? And you don't know. Life is going to, change as it goes. But if your focus and your intentions are set, those kind of things become distractions, and it's not a bad thing. It'll come back around if it's meant to be. A lot of times I see that as a test of, like, do you really want this? Like, are you really willing to do what it takes? For instance, let's think about it like this. In sports, if you say you want to become a champion, but you don't do the extra road work, you don't do the work outside of the gym, you only show up to practice with the team and stuff like that, you're not going to do as well as the guy that goes home and doubles down on what he learned, that takes the journal and writes down the different things that he struggled on or that he succeeded in. And it's a very drastic difference when somebody just shows up when they're supposed to, and somebody shows up because they want to. And that's where focus and concentration are, again, the two keys to success in life. If you can focus in and you can concentrate on those things, like, it's going to happen. I mean, most of you guys know what I'm planning on this fall. That's my focus. That's my concentration. I'm making sacrifices because I don't want to be deterred. I don't want to, step off the gas, and I definitely want to get there. Like, I don't want to work my life away, and I don't think that this is much of work sometimes. I think this is more something that I enjoy, that I'm able to find a way to make a living off of it. And it gets better and better every single day. I mean, life is easy, life is good, and all good things come to me. It's like, you got to keep that mindset. But that's it for the quote of the day. I hope you guys took something from that. But again, main thing is focus and concentrate on what you actually want in life. Write it down a couple times, make it tangible. Best thing I could say is get an index card like this. Write down your goals, write down a couple goals, and start figuring out what is it you actually want. Keep it in your pocket, fold it up, hold on to it. Like, here's one of mine. All the goals I have, everything that I want to do in the next 3 months is right there. And I look at it and I'm like, hey, is it affirmed with my vision board? Is it in line with this? Is it with my daily practices? Am I showing up for my stream? Am I executing all of these things that I want to do? I see on the timeline, oh, I'm building, oh, I'm getting ready, oh, I'm doing. No, you're fucking not, dude. You're just sitting here on the fucking internet just saying the same shit everybody else is doing. People that are doing things are like literally doing this. They're coming up and, hey, it might not be perfect. It might not be, the crystal clear. I don't know. It might not be everything you hoped it could be, but it's a start, and if you fail at that, cool, perfect. Fail more. Honestly, fail more. One of the things I learned as a skateboarder, and I was talking to my buddy yesterday, actually, one of the sacrifices I made for this big move coming up is I sold my moped. I didn't want to sell it to a stranger if I could avoid that. So my buddy, he's also the mechanic that helped me and taught me a lot about how to work on two-stroke engines, stuff like that. I kind of told him what my plan was. We've been friends since I was about 11, 12 years old. We have same initials, almost the same exact signature. This SMS thing you see up here, right here, where are we at? Right there. I got that because his signature is like on his license is SCS, and I thought it was hilarious while we were going to get our license renewed one day. I was like, I'm just gonna copy yours. That looks cool. I'm gonna go with that. So, the thing about that was we grew up skateboarding. We grew up failing almost every single day, like falling, wheel bite, not landing the trick, whatever it is. There's a couple things that come to mind when I think about this, and I talk to people about this when it came to trading. It's being able to make a split-second decision based on your gut and your intuition, your feelings, and everything like that. When you're skateboarding, when you're going up to nollie off a curve or something like that, like let's say this is a ramp, right? You have to pinpoint, hit that right there. You can't be too early or you're not going to get the right pop. You're too late, the board's going over. You have to hit that shit at the right time, and you have to be confident that you're going to land that trick. You got to know what you're doing. You got to focus in on all of that. You got to close everything else out. And then you're probably gonna fucking fall. That's the funniest part about it, because like that's the truth, is you probably are going to fail at some point. I mean, not everybody's gonna land the tricks first try. Most of the people that do land on first try had to work a whole fucking lot to get there. That's just the way it goes. There might be people with talent, but there's also people that just dedicate themselves to working hard, and they show that they can make it. And those are the kind of stories, those are the kind of people, those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. It's like focus in, concentrate, be willing to fail at what you want to do, and you'll get there. Most people are not living the lives that they want to. Most people are not in the shape that they want to be in. Don't be like most people. Don't be like most people. Look on the timeline. I bet you right now I can go through talking. I can see people saying, I need to get into the gym. I need to do this. I'm building this. I'm doing, motherfucker. I'll go through your timeline and I don't see any of it. I just see you keep saying the same thing over and over again because it feels good. So if you got plans, there's a certain point to this where it's like I don't want to talk about certain things until it's like set in motion, or unless somebody else brings it to the table. Like you don't want to start talking about ideas, plans, and what you want to do, because I would say 75% of people don't do that. I think that they get the dopamine hit that they want, and they just kind of roll with that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this together. Yeah, sure you are. I've heard that before. Until I see it happening, like I don't really believe a lot of the things I see, just because of the nature of how easy it is to bullshit people on this timeline. There's a couple people that I just watch them when they say, oh, I'm gonna get back in my groove. I'm like, okay, I gotta drop another video right now. Like I need to clear what I'm doing and go just push it further because I know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They might have a bigger audience, but the fact is I'm putting in more work and it's consistently going to compound and add up. It gets to a point where every single click becomes a metric that you can kind of start to watch. But anyway, got a little bit off track there, but that's quote of the day. That's a little mindset, a little bit of motivation for you guys. I'm never going to stop doing that. If you don't like it, just get the fuck off the stream. It's something I like to do because I think most people could use it. I think that most people, if they don't admit it, it's something that they're struggling with. And that's not the easiest thing in the world to say, like, yeah, I fucking am not where I want to be and I don't know how to get there. And that takes work, man. Like, that takes the ability to be, humble and strong. Like, skateboarding, if you do it in front of people, you're gonna fall and you might look like an idiot, you might get fucked up, and you gotta suck that up. You gotta just focus. Like, most times you don't even notice that people are watching the shit until after the fact, to be honest with you, because you're so locked in on that kind of stuff. It's the same with foxing. Same with boxing, you know what I mean? You're never a loser getting in there. You're the man in the arena type shit. And it just goes for everything, whether it's trading, whether it's content, whether it's streaming. Like, I see a couple people that have recently started streaming a little bit more, showing up on the timeline. I think I'm going to keep that opinion to myself, but I'm seeing more of it. And I see that's what I like to see. It's like, I think they should have done that sooner, but hey, I can say it till I'm blue in the face. People aren't going to listen until like they actually get it and it sinks in, and then they're going to try to take everything that you gave them and call it theirs. But hey, that's life too. But anyway, again, guys, I'm SMS. I'm a master chef at the Marinade Finance community and group. If you guys want to get involved with that, I got it pinned in my profile. You guys can get in there. I think we got like 150 some people so far. It's growing slowly but surely, but slow cooks are better than no cooks. And if you guys know anything about Marinade Finance, let me just play this little clip real quick for you, give you a little bit of background.
Marinade started in 2021 at a Solana hackathon. A small, bootstrapped team, pure conviction, and community. We introduced MSOL, the first liquid staking token on Solana, opening the door to Solana DeFi. When the market crashed, we stayed. When others pivoted, we doubled down. We grew with the Solana community, the ones who showed up, staked in, and believed. We didn't just build early, we built for the long haul. And we've evolved. From MSOL to native staking, from wait times to instant unstake, from open access to high-quality KYC verified validators. No smart contract risk, no shortcuts. Just secure, audited, non-custodial staking. Institutional-grade experience with retail accessibility. Because we believe fine infrastructure should feel like fine dining. And Solana just tastes better with Marinade, the best staking rewards, slow cooked since 2021. The chef's hat stays on.
There we go, guys. Slow cooked since 2021. Very, very fortunate and grateful for the opportunity to be part of the Marinade Finance team and be a master chef over there. Really growing and learning a lot from the community within the chefs over there, and that's why I started the community, the X community. I wanted to bring more people in. I wanted them to see kind of like how we do this and what we're doing, what we can bring to the table. The main thing I did was I wasn't even a master chef at the time. I took initiative. I saw that there was a need for it. They didn't have their own setup, so I said, fuck it, might as well create this because it's where I want to go. I love DeFi. I love the opportunity of doing that. And, just on top of that, I don't want to get too involved into Marinade Finance because Solana Chillin' at 3 p.m. We're going to be hosting them with Wombat, and I'm going to have Marky3 as the other host on that one. I'll be in and out of other spaces throughout the day, but I've got a lot of work I got to do outside of content, so I'm going to try to knock this stuff out. But again, 3 p.m. Solana Chillin', Marinade Finance. We've got Wombat, representing them, I believe. I think he's just going to be in there. Maybe somebody else might be in there. We'll see what happens. But also going to be hosting that with Marky. If you guys know Marky, 3 eyes, I think it's Marky. I don't know how he says it. Did he just say Mark or Marky? Either way, Marky Web3. You guys know who he is. But he'll be hosting that with me. He's been rocking out with Solana Chillin' on, the Tuesdays. But other than that, guys, we still have the daily stream at 11 o'clock, a few hours from now. And yeah, there's going to be a pretty good day. But other than that, guys, I want to tap into this a little bit. Also part of the Zeus working group, and it's been a pleasure being with them, really learning about, you know, the way that the Zeus stack works, the way that you can literally not have to buy Bitcoin ever again. You can just buy Solana. And they have the, what is it? The dual, I forget, the DAAS. I forget what the letters stand for. Basically, you invest into your Solana, you get liquid staking token on there, you don't lose your position, it runs up, and you also have, you know, Bitcoin as a reward, where you're going to have that generated as not auto compounding, but it automatically sells the reward and it buys the spot Bitcoin for you. So if you just buy Solana and you stake it with Marinade Finance, or no, not Marinade Finance, with BTC Sol, you'll be, you know, actively just collecting Bitcoin with your Solana. As it goes up in price, both of them, you're going to, you know, stack it. When it goes down in price, you could probably add to it and continue stacking it. But it just helps out. So if you're one of those guys that's a Solana maxi and you don't have exposure to BTC and you think you're behind, well, it's a great way for you to stake, get some, you know, rewards and Bitcoin. You don't have to keep it, so all of your Solana in there. You can just, you know, split it up however you want to, go back to Marinade Finance and use all the amazing options that they have there. Shout out to the recipes that are coming around the corner. I'm excited for that because you'll be able to stake your Solana for meme coins, stable coins, and utility coins alike. But last but not least, guys, I am the content and marketing lead over at DD Gaming Labs. We're just a bootstrap company, you know, getting the ground, or from the ground up. Just been really grinding, putting the work in. We've got one game right now. It's our MVP. We're looking to have, I think, up to 20 of them in the MVP, like truck. Dean was kind of calling it. Basically, what that means, it's the minimum viable product. It's something that you can play, you can see. There's constantly updates going on in there, new games being added daily, all of this stuff. And I mean, Dean's a working single father. Like, dude's busy as hell and still finds the time to make this stuff happen. Like, dude was on a date the other day and he was still working. He had like 2 laptops in front of him, a couple phones, and it's just that dedication, that commitment to yourself, and to make some things happen and make opportunities available for others like myself and the other interns that are there. Very, very fortunate for that, and I'm having a good time over there cooking up things and finding new ways. I'm learning as I go too. I'm not, you know, some, you know, top of the state-of-the-art content marketing lead that's gonna, you know, razzle dazzle you and try to sell you some stupid bullshit that you can't figure out for yourself. Like, I'm just doing what has got me to this point. And there's a lot of people that'll say, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way. I was like, no, you fucking don't. Like, I don't do things the way that everybody says to do them. I do things the way that I think that is fun and unique, and it speaks to me. If I followed everybody else's lead, I would be like, oh, you can't post more than 14 times a day. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm gonna post as much as I want to be honest with you. I know there is a method to it and all of that, but I don't get in line with that. I just, if it doesn't happen naturally, I don't really need that extra. It just takes away from what I want to do. If I have something to say, I want to say it. I do understand that there is a metric, that there are people that don't want to follow you, but it's like, cool, you aren't supporting anyway. I have 13.7 thousand, and the ratio of people that show up on there and one support themselves, it's like, why do you think you don't get support? You don't show up for the people, you know, that are showing up for you. So I don't care. Just break rules, do things different, step outside, be unique, stand out. If you blend in with everybody else, if you listen to all these bigger influencers that are trying to tell you how to do things and guide your way and say, hey, you should make it look like this, like, you're just going to look like everybody else. You're going to look down like a watered down version of literally everybody else. There's not going to be any significance to you except for, I'm part of this team. And I agree, further together, yeah, that's true. Faster alone, that's true too. You don't have to divide them like that. You don't have to say, oh, I'm only going to be alone, I'm only going to work with this team. You can be yourself and work with the team. That's going to actually make that team look a lot better, because it's not a bunch of the same motherfuckers there looking like the same shit, posting the same shit, saying the same shit, because you know what that is? That's an echo chamber. And most of us don't care for that. The only people that like that are the people in it. Like, sure, it's going to grow over time. I don't know, man. Like, I see some of these spaces, I see some of these chats, I see some of these companies' products and all of that, and it's like, damn, y'all are like carbon copies of each other. Like even your posts are starting to look the same. Like I'll say something that I know people don't talk about, and now I'm seeing the same people that are taking things from other people starting to use that, and it's like, all right, whatever. There is a lack of originality here. I understand that not everybody has what it takes to get there. They can only copy and paste and curate that way. But hey, stand out, break rules, be different. Honestly, like I think that's the best way to go. There are certain professional things you need to do, I guess, if you're taking yourself seriously, but I don't know. I just want to make sure you guys understand, like, just because they have a bigger account and they've made money in this space, maybe, like, there's the thing I say is, like, don't take advice from somebody that hasn't got to where you're trying to get. And maybe I'm not where they are, but I'm not them also. So you're kind of looking at things different. And do you want to be them? Do you want to be that person? Do you want to go through that? And typically, I don't know. Like, most of those people have pretty hard stories, or at least they have gimmicks that sound like that. So just take that for what it is, man. Stand out, step out of the box. Don't be like everybody else. Like, communities are communities. Like that's why we have different PFPs. Put it that way. Look at your PFPs. Look at a collection of generated PFPs. Do they all look alike? No, they look similar. There's characteristics and traits that are similar, but are they the same? Like, are they carbon copies of each other? No, derivatives are. Do you want to be a derivative of somebody? Like, there was this dude that, my last name's Suvi. So there was this guy that I used to skateboard with, and he literally copied everything I was doing, and people started calling him 2V. Like, because he was like a second version of me, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious, because it's, 2V, like it's just rhymes with the name 2V. But it was something that, like, when I saw that, I was like, damn, I'm definitely influencing this person. I'm definitely making them kind of look at things a little bit differently and maybe have some different ideas or whatever the case is. But he's not himself. And I mean, now he is. Now he's his own person, and he's grown into that. But while he was growing up, he was influenced by, I guess, what he thought was cool. And I was just doing the shit that I could afford. It wasn't even anything special. Like, it's one of those things, like, what you think people are doing and trying to do is probably what they can do for the most part. Take everything you see on this space with a grain of thought. But yeah, guys, the last thing, or last time I'm going to say it, just make sure you're willing to stand out. Make sure you're willing to fail. Make sure you're willing to just be yourself and be organic. Like, there's a lot of people that post about this on the timeline saying, all of these creators, you're not creative enough. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're not creative enough. You're literally just saying what the problem is without fixing it. And most of your content, whatever. I don't know. It's a very high schooly, clicky thing on Twitter. So if you remember how those days were, and the people that kind of just stuck to themselves, that stayed focused, that concentrated on what they wanted to do and really didn't try to hurt anybody, like that's the best place to be. If you want to be like, the football team and wear the same jerseys, wear the same colors, wear the same things, do the same things, show up the same places, that's great. You guys are a great team. Wonderful. But you remember how jocks got isolated and they stuck to their own selves, and they didn't have that crossover until they got out of school, and well, that's where you are. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you can be on the same team, but you don't have to dress the exact same way. Like, just stand out, be unique, be yourself. But one more clip, and then we're going to take a look at the markets real quick. I don't know, got off on a tangent on that one, but I guess that's what the GM chats are for, a little bit more mindset kind of stuff. But let's take a look at this right here. This tells you a little bit more about the BTC Soul, how you can stake your Solana, earn Bitcoin, never have to buy Bitcoin again if you do it this way. Let's take a look.
Now quickly, looking the lob, Zion's there. Plays it ahead of him. Now quickly, looking the lob.
All right, guys, very bullish on that stuff right there. But I'm going to take a look at this post from Solana. This is just Solana Summer Forge is on. It has a bunch of updates. We're going to kind of skim through this and then go jump onto the markets real quick. Kind of looks like a marinated finance guy, huh? I'm just kidding. All right, let's go up here to the top. So while the Solana Institute took to Capitol Hill as U.S. policymakers passed historic crypto regulation or legislation. Fuck my life, I can't read today. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this because my retarded ass can't read sometimes. All right, let's try this again. Solana Summer Forge is on. While Solana Institute took to Capitol Hill as U.S. policymakers passed historic crypto legislation with the Genius Act, the Solana community kept doing what it does best, shipping. Here's what you might have missed last week. So it's Metaplex launched Genesis, a protocol for on-chain token offerings powered by Solana featuring launch pools to eliminate front-running and sniping, public auctions for efficient price discovery and priced sales with caps and allowances. XIFox or Xstocks Fi. God, what a shitty name. Xstocks. Why do they have to add the Fi on there? I guess for the name. Either way. Lending markets launch on Community Finance, enabling users to borrow against SPY, NVIDIA, and what's that one called? MicroStrategy. I guess that's what that one is. And more directly on chain. Basically, you can borrow against your stocks powered by Chainlink oracles. Chainlink is really doing some amazing shit. They have that cross-chain interoperability. I saw them put that together on Say. Saw it go on all these other Say made it seem like it was just them, but I looked a little bit deeper and they've been doing it with pretty much every single chain. Why am I not able to read today, dude? What is going on? Super Team SG announced the next season of Ignition, giving founders 2 weeks in Singapore this September to accelerate their startups built on Solana. Believe App announced a partnership with WAP.io, enabling WAP creators to launch a coin for their community. Oh, great. More fucking coins. This is exactly what we don't need. On Solana directly from their WAP page. WAP, like wet ass pussy? Or is that not WAP now? They should have done WAP. That would have been way better. If people would have asked, but like, wait, is this WAP? Perena, whatever, introduced USD, whatever. Masari Crypto released their most recent state of real world asset on Solana report, showing that RWAs issued on Solana have grown 140% year to date with over 420 million issued. That's insane. Mert launched the first episode of Accelerate with Toli. Can the devs please do something more about podcasts? Okay. Everybody's launching a podcast now. I just saw that Justin, I think it was, with somebody else from the Zeus Network. They did a podcast. Slash app launched support for on and off ramps on Solana, so businesses can pay contractors, vendors in USDC and receive USDC from customers. So Slash app is pretty interesting. That's something where you can probably go to your local stores and say, hey, what do you use for your payment services? Onboard them into crypto, break it down so they can understand it, they get involved. The biggest thing is most people don't understand how to use crypto, pay for crypto. And even if you do explain it to them, I'm telling you right now, until customers are coming in asking if they can use crypto, businesses aren't going to really give a shit about it because cash is king and they want as much cash as they can get. Even the ones that I know about, Bitcoin, when I was like, would you ever accept, crypto payments? They're like, well, not if cash is being accepted. Why would I do that? I'll just buy my own crypto with my profits. So I was like, that makes fucking sense. But hey, if we go to a digital world eventually, like that will be, a everyday thing. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I just can't see, how 1% or so like owns crypto out of the entire population of the world, and we're just going to switch to digital currency. I just don't see it happening. That'll always be there, just like stocks and are available and made public and yada yada yada. I just don't see us going to a point of sale where it's just digital using a phone, because it traps out more people. It creates issues. Like, I don't think the world is ready for something like that. If it became an option, great. It's, I guess, pretty similar to using like a crypto debit card where you get paid back in crypto and stuff like that. Like even Coinbase, I can use Coinbase. I can spend Solana. They basically do the transaction to sell it as USDC, and then since I use my Solana for payment, so to speak, I get rewards, so on and so forth. But you're not technically using crypto as payment. You're exchanging it and using USDC at that point. And then they're doing on their back end, they're doing the transactions. Whatever. You get the idea. Unless they have some kind of DApps embedded in the background, it's not going to be, hey, that's $5 USDC, sir. They're going to be like, oh, it's $5 credit or cash. Pipe Network, decentralized CDN built on Solana. I don't know what a CDN is. Launched Solana Wave AI, offering instant start or sign up free access to Solana's full blockchain history. I guess if you just need to look up the history and you're trying to look at patterns, or I don't know, that's interesting. Why would you want to look at the history of transaction contracts and NFTs? I feel like Timon would know that. Timon, the guy from Meerkats, I feel like he would be interested in something like that because he has built the Solana Historical Society that has like all-time highs of prices of NFTs, so on and so forth. Basically like a museum for Solana. All right, so Solana Deepin Dawn Internet introduced the Black Box, a new hardware that pioneers solar-like economics for wireless and powering high-speed internet to the home. Okay. They're making the internet, like, why do they gotta make it sound so hard to read and like digestible? I don't think the average person, if they saw this and was like, oh, the new hardware that pioneers solar-like economics for wireless and powering high-speed internet, people are lost already. If you just say it's high-speed internet powered by solar-like economics, it's a new tech on Solana. With Solana, it's a crypto. Like, I don't know. I guess this is catered towards the guys that are on CT, but again, to my point, it's hard to explain these things to people that aren't into the space. And like, I think we're so advanced in this space that we're forgetting that people are going to be playing catch up with almost everything. We have Highload, so whatever this is, launched season 0 of points, and that I hate anything with points. Just going to skip that. One of the highest volume exchanges in Thailand. Shout out to Thailand. BitCub official added support for USDT deposits and withdrawals on Solana. Bullish on that. Future home. Solana DAO governance became much smoother. Real MSD. What the fuck? Realms? Okay. Realms DAOs. It's hard to read it when it's like that. Launch Realms V2, featuring advanced treasury management, transparent voting, heat maps, and more. Boring. Startup Sanctum acquired. Boring. Sorry, it just is. Boring. Oh, this is exciting. Zeus Network and Marinade Finance introduced BTC Soul, the first restaking model built on Solana for holders to accumulate Bitcoin. Probably the most important message on there, right there. By the way, Solana Conference Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi is going to be here faster than you think. F1 Bitcoin Meta Abu Dhabi Finance Week. So definitely going to be trying to get myself to that. I will be in the area. So we'll see what happens. Don't wait to get your tickets and book your hotels. See you there this December. We'll see how things play out. Would love to be there. Would love to check that out. But that's the goal, is to get to as many events, travel as much as I can, and meet and greet with as many people as I possibly can. But that's a nice little post with some updates on there. Let's see what else we got with the Solana post. Anything worth it? No. That's interesting. Bonk Fund accounts for around 80% of all Launchpad volume. Absolute dominance. Yeah, I think they're killing Pump Fund. I think Pump Fund might be cooked just because they've extracted so much, and the space is like so small. Even though we think it's huge, it's a very small space. And look how that happened. As it ridiculously dominant fucking Launchpad is just completely wiped out because of the small nature of this community. It was like, nah, we're good. We're gonna move over to the savior of Solana, Bonk. They came through during the belly of the bear. They came through and saved the Launchpads, and I just think they're gonna continue to do more. They got fun games out there. I don't know. Bonk is a G. Let's see. 3 times the fees and volume in the last 24 hours for that. So bullish news over. Oh, wait. What's this about Pump, the token? Even better. Pump fund plummets below its ICO price. That's obvious as fuck. If anybody thought that it was a smart idea to invest into Pump despite everything that was going on, like this wasn't one of those we'll go against the grain. No, man, go against the people taking money out of the fucking ecosystem. Like, go against the people that are doing a disservice. Like, I guess you could say there is a benefit because you have people like Trey and whoever the fuck else is doing coins and stuff like that, the coin creator economy, coin capital markets or something. They created a live streaming metric or meta. I don't think that lasts because like I don't know why I would want to buy somebody's coin. I had Donnie on. I talked a little bit about that. I do appreciate it because like it's not easy, but I would imagine that you would want to have a larger following. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's the way to get a large following. You break through. You're early there, but the way it's looking, like I don't think that that's the way. I just personally don't. We'll see how it goes. I'm not playing around on that. I mean, that's like worse than a meme coin at this point because like most of the people that have that coin, they've literally said, "I don't care about the price of the token." Well, brother, we all do. Everybody is, unless they're investing into you. I don't like. I think what Johnny was trying to say is like it's considered like shares or something like that, and I got you on that. That makes sense, but at the same time, like my shares are not valued if somebody is controlling supply and just keeps dumping on me every time the price bumps. I mean, I guess you could play the long game on that. I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you want to like get involved. Like if you're just buying $10 to support, and that person keeps hoping that a million people buy $10 and or 1,000 people buy $10. I don't know the whole story with that, but seeing the direction of Pump, seeing all of the negative stuff that has come, the money doesn't matter. And that's the one thing I want to kind of just point out. It shows you like it doesn't fucking matter how much what they made. It doesn't matter how great people were saying, you know, this creator capital market is going to be, because you can clearly see that it seems to be an extracting point for some of the more popular people that are in there. I mean, you got guys that I've never even seen their page. I've been in the space for 4 or 5 years. I've seen their name a few times, but I mean, somebody standing on the screen smoking cigarettes 24/7, I ain't pulling up to that. Somebody that's being a complete jackass or doing some gross or weird shit, I ain't pulling up to that either. If they don't even have value, they're just sitting there talking because they're bored, I'm not pulling up to that. Why would anybody do that? Why would anybody want to pull up to those things? So there's really nothing of value to go through there. And investing into that after the fact, that's crazy talk. That's crazy work on top of that. But shout out to Pump. I mean, I think you guys got what you kind of deserved. You could have given back so much to the community in certain points, but you've decided to do this. Maybe there's an end game. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't care either. Shout out to Bonk though for doing what's right and you know, giving back to the community. I think that matters a whole lot. All right, enough with all this shit. Let's take a look at the charts. That's why we're here. See what's going on with this price action. We broke over 200 with Solana, which is absolutely amazing, but we still got work to go. We're not out of the woods yet. It's definitely good. It's definitely going to, you know, make excitement. But I was kind of talking with some people. I think that there could be a little bit of a pullback into the fall, and then we rock it at that point. I don't know exactly, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. I mean, Bitcoin's looking pretty. It's sitting up here in price discovery. Has no idea what it wants to fucking do, which is cool. I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about after this. $119,226 right now. We've gone all the way up to, what was the high? 123 or so, something like that. Yeah, about 123. So I put BTC top. Like, is this going to be where we top out? Just kind of thinking like, all right, well, just look at the chart here. Look at where this thing has topped out before and has come down. This is where you had a double top, came back down. This one just kind of went sideways. You had a double bottom, bounced right back up on top of the gap fill, cup and handle. And this line up here is the depth of this cup. So that's where I'm expecting this to run to before it starts to retrace. Now, after that, I would imagine if it breaks this trend right here, you start to get back to these points of support and resistance because there's nothing in the middle here. You guys can see this. You see what I'm saying right here? Like there's nothing holding it. There's no support right here. So if you break this level, I bet you come back down to this top right here and maybe even closer down to here if we don't immediately, pump into 125. But it is, skimming along this trend line here. Like I drew this based off of these right here. This fell over to this line, so it is showing you that it is going down. I mean, it's only been a couple of days since the all-time high, the 14th, I guess that's when it was. So it's only been about a week. Nothing to really stress about, but you are seeing that channel. I do think that there is more steam left. I do think that you got more to go to pump this back up. But again, like I said, you got basically a double top here. You basically got a double bottom over here, and you see that the gap fill, depth, yada, all that. And that's why I kind of put this as, hey, somewhere between 140 to 160,000 should be or could be our top position. But this box down here is where I expect this to kind of break down to once we kind of crash or we go through a bear market. I think it comes down into this range. The low right here is like 63,000. This one's 78. I'm just basically saying 60 to 80,000 roughly is where I think this falls, just because it's about 50% down from the all-time high up here. And everything that we've seen, when it runs up and it shoots up, you usually get a 50% retracement until it makes another move. I think it's time for another pot of coffee. But that's Bitcoin. It's looking good. Again, if you guys are buying Solana and you want to earn Bitcoin, stake it with BTC Sol, and easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you got yourself, some exposure to BTC passively, and it's just going to dollar cost average it at that point because it accrues and it shows you. But let's take a look at Solana real quick. That is play of the summer, bro. Yo, just a shout out, guys. Let me pull this up real quick. The homie Trey, he's been doing something kind of cool, so I'm just gonna put this on the radar for you guys. He's a good friend of mine, and whether he will do this for me or not, I don't know. He hasn't got his tattoo yet, so I can't really, say that his word is that good. Not gonna lie, I get that tattoo Trey and I'll switch it up. But I will say this, he reached out to me and asked me about clipping some of my streams and content and stuff like that. Maybe even ask him if he wants to try out the short form content, but he's starting up a freelancing project for himself to edit content. I think that the clipping is underrated as well. I personally don't have enough time as it is right now. I could schedule and make time available. That is 100% a possibility and something I have considered. I reached out to some other streamers and they didn't really give me a solid answer, so I kind of just let it go. I know that there is that WAP thing, but like you need to get engagement off of their posts. So like if you edit a video, that video has to do numbers for you to get like a penny. So it's not really good metrics. And let's see what else. But no, this is Trey, his new account since he got hacked. Just wanted to shout this out there. Stash Guy 69. His old account was hacked. We fight back a million times harder. Vertex Protocol Ambassador only has 76 right now. Let's get him up to 100 today, guys. A good friend of mine, like I said, he owes me a tattoo. Questionable word, but he is doing some clipping and creating that opportunity for himself. So anybody that's going to be a self-starter and try to make their way in this space, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you grow. It's always been a goal of mine is to reach out to anybody with a smaller platform and elevate them when I know that they have talent, when they know that they have the tenacity and the desire to make it in this space. And Trey is one of those people. He's lost before, he's come back, he's lost again, and he's come back. I was live streaming with him last week. He got drained, but it looks like he got hacked overall and socially engineered. So I'm only sharing this because he shared it, and I want to make it very clear to you guys. You got to be careful when the prices are running up like this. You're going to see more hacks. Even genuine articles from the Galactic Geckos, he was getting impersonated in other servers. So make sure the spellings are correct. One thing I will say to Trey is, like, you have Stash Guy 69 and the other name is the Stash Guy. It's very confusing. The PFP is the exact same. You should really consider doing something with that because the other one isn't gone yet and you could trip people up. I know that it says it right here in your little account thing, but nobody fucking reads, and you know that. So Trey, if you're watching this, just keep that in consideration. Your accounts look exactly the same right now, different numbers, all of that good stuff. But if you guys are looking for somebody to clip your content, you're looking for somebody to edit your shorts or whatever, hit him up. See what you can do. Dude needs to bounce back. You know, having a loss like what he took sucks. It was like close to whatever. I'm gonna leave his business out of it when it comes to financials. But the homie lost his bag, and I want to see my homies win. Just like Marky, I want to see him get back to 1,000. And I'm hosting a space with him. Part of the reason I wanted to bring him on there is to get him more exposure, because I know he loves being in the space and he wants to grow. He wants to succeed here. So if there's anything I can do that doesn't cost me any money, it's simple fucking things like that. And I don't know. I don't always hear it coming back that way, but I like to make sure that I put it out there because I just think that that's the right thing to do, guys. But yeah, shout out to Trey. I love what you're doing, homie. Keep it up, and you'll make it all back. I guarantee it. Now, let's see if I can find my other screen that I probably X'd out of. Did I? No, we're good. Back here. Alrighty. Bang, bang. Well, that looks pretty damn good there, right? That's not the one I wanted, though. It doesn't have all my crazy-ass lines in there. I think I need the Solana USD one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. So, this isn't just crazy talk, guys. I've been watching this. I've been charting this for a long fucking time, and that's why it's easier to start seeing how these things play out. All of these lines here are support and resistance zones from historical price action, and that's how I was able to chart this. This line right here shows you the depth of, was that, I always forget this one. Where did I find that line? Is that, oh, no. Is that across here? Where did I find that? Oh, that's it right here. So the depth of this cup right here. So if you see this guy, that's what this is right here. And then this one, this little W, this little cup, that's what this little line is here. And it played out pretty damn perfectly. Let me see if I can move this here. So yeah, if you go down to the bottom of this, this shows you the top of that. So my thought was, all right, if this bounces from this cup and handle situation right here, breaks through, you should be bouncing off of this handle up to these ranges in 210, close to 220. This one right here is when we filled this gap right there. I was like, all right, if this is the handle, then we should shoot from this depth to here. Let me straighten this out so it looks a little bit better. All right, so that right there, you see where that line is right there at the top? That's the depth. Same thing right here. You can see this is the point that I put it at for the top of the cup. And that's the bottom. You can see the depth there. So what I do is I put it right here, and where was it? Somewhere over here, right? Yeah. You put that at the handle where it comes down, and you start to look to see, like, when is this going to turn around? You got to wait for it to bounce back up, but it should fill that depth. And that is exactly what we did here. We broke through to the 200 range, and we're at 199.73. This was down around 130 or so. So you had a nice run up there, a nice movement up to the top. But that's the way you do it. You look at this line all the way across here where it fills the gap, measure the distance down to the deepest pocket, and then put that on the leg over here. That typically shows you where the price action is going to go. I've been doing this for months, and it's consistently working out. Now, the reason I do this is because when I trade leverage, I like to see, like, hey, where do we think this can go if we have enough steam, enough momentum? All right, so one thing you can do to check that out is check your RSI out, and you check out your MACD. Both of these are indicators that give you a little bit of help with, guessing where the price action is going to go and charting that stuff out. Now, the RSI over, over 70 is overbought, under 30 is oversold. When you see it in either of those two, you're probably going down or you're going up. If it's oversold or overbought, that shit's coming down. It might pump for a little bit, but once it gets too high, shout out to $200 on Solana. Wish I had the little button set up, but I haven't taken the time to do that shit yet. But what was I saying? Because my ADD is on fleek today. Okay, yeah. So you see how this green little hill kind of came up here and it simmered down. You had the blue line cross over the signal line. It came back down again here. And then it just was a downtrend from that point on until we flipped it. We did have a little bit of a bump right there, but for the most part, you're making lower lows all the way through here. I mean, this one did change that, but it didn't confirm and it broke back down. So that's just a nice downtrend for me. The reason I was looking at this is that's where you had that little bit of a reversal here, another similar pattern right here. I checked the MACD, I saw it flip over here. You see the green going. I was watching it kind of just crawl itself up there, and then I was like, man, this looks like it's really, really sendy territory. So we're at 66 on the RSI. It gets a little bit higher. This is going to be hot, and you're going to be waiting for this thing to kind of cool off. So my goals and my targets, and you can probably see some posts, I said 180. 200, 220. After that, we're going to be running. The reason I say that is because if you look at these charts, like what has been holding things back? Well, here's the 220 to 24 range or so right there. The reason I use this is that's where it broke down. This is where it bounced. This is where it broke down. This is where it rejected. This is where it broke out. This is where it broke down. Again, you have a lot of significant points, especially close to the all-time high. So 200 to 220, unless we just get bullish momentum and blast right through it, I think we get some resistance in that area. So if you're longing or if you're playing any leverage, that's what I'm looking at. Being that we're at 66 on the RSI, I could see this cool down a little bit and skim along the 180 range or closer to 180. And then you start to make your way back up. I don't know for a fact, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Those price targets are just the ones that seem like what other people will see. And something you got to understand about trading is it's not necessarily the real value of the coin and what it does and the applications and the real world value that it has, whatever that is. Sometimes it's just the way people, their emotions go. Like emotional traders, everybody is emotional. Everybody has emotions. You can be ice cold if you want to, but there's somebody else that's going to be buying into it. Like when you have people that see lines, like there's other people that are going to see this clear stay, top, all of these broke down, but also has bounce. So it's like, okay, that is interesting. And then you can even go all the way back here. And you can kind of extend this line and say, where does this fit into this place back years and years ago? Well, it almost topped out there. Kind of broke out right there. Not much significance on this side, but there are some points where you can look at it. It is a little bit lower. I'm not going to even front on that one. But you kind of look at that and you use it as a gauge. I don't go pinpoint accurate because you could be extremely wrong by doing that. You could think like, oh, it has to do this. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to do a damn thing, to be honest with you. But seeing this W formation, seeing all the bullish momentum, seeing this come up here, that's why I said maybe we get to this point right here. This is about $200, and then we kind of pull back just a bit. But here, right here, you see this 184, 180. This is where I think we find and we catch, and then it starts to keep moving up higher that way. We start staircasing our way up. Maybe I should use my left hand with everything because it's left to right anyway. I'm retarded. No, I'm not retarded. I'm just kidding. But that's what I'm seeing with Solana. I think things look pretty bullish on here. I mean, the bottom line is we had this chart from over a year ago. This is what I kind of like shout out to people. I was like, look at this. Like, look all the way back here. I mean, even that's a good sign right there. That's where it kind of rejected. It did, you know, barely poke through, but it rejected right there, came back through, topped right there, rejected again. Another cup and handle situation. But this was a bigger cup and handle because you had all the way from here, oh no, here to there. See what I'm saying? That's why you have the bigger run up. But now that I'm looking at this, that's interesting. I didn't notice this one because the price is so low. What I'm seeing here is a potential like indicator of like where this goes, right? So roughly, it doesn't have to be crazy perfect for me. I'm not too particular. There's the Rockets. So interesting stuff. So I'm just gonna set this here so it doesn't get too fucking covered up. All right, I didn't look at this like this before. So if you look at this as a cup and handle or a giant cup, it's kind of bullish, right? I know it's a little higher than this, but again, I'm just trying to give you reference points, nothing to write a science report on. Dun, dun, dun. $381. So if we go off of this line right here, get rid of him. If this is a handle, like for this cup, and this becomes the handle, this looks like it's getting close to 400 bucks off of this movement right here and this giant W. That's just kind of where it looks like that could play a significant part. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Solana's been doing amazing things, guys. It's been in this. Oh, that was the other part I wanted to say. Watching all of this, the reason I was able to kind of like see where this was and have some luck with the leveraging here is look at this channel all the way across, just skimming along the bottom here. And then it topped out all the way across here. And it did it again over here. It's been following the same trend since back, oh, well, let's just go all the way back here. Since December 2023. And you can see the channel, you can see the spikes, you can see the downtrend and the reversal, and you can see where we're at now with the W forming, hitting that same top right there, coming back down, retesting the bottom right there, coming back up here, breaking through there, going to the, you know, that next level. That's why I'm thinking 180, 200, 220. All of this looks like it's going to check out and play out pretty damn good. Let's just move the rocket over there just for you know, for funsies. But no, I'm pretty bullish on what we got going over here. Let's take a look at some meme coins, and I'm going to check in on the time, see how much time we got left. But I am not going to keep it too much further past the hour. Got a lot to going on today. We got streaming again at 11, and I got more. Oh, we're at an hour on the dot, guys. We're wrapping this fuck up. Sorry about your luck. Not today. Stop sharing. All right, guys. I'm going to play this for you real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Just because Bunk's doing his thing. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been GM Chat. I appreciate it. Give you a little bit of a price update on Bitcoin and Solana. Was going to get into the meme coins, but maybe we'll take a look at that later on this afternoon. We got some work to do, got some content to put out, got some engagement to get done. Yesterday was a little bit more of a busy day. Had some IRL stuff. Like I said, I sold a moped. Sad about that. That's life, though. Life goes on. But it's a sacrifice I made because I know it's for the greater good and where I want to go in life. And again, back to the word of the day, it's concentration and focus on what exactly you want. If you're thinking of a bunch of things and you have all these grand ideas and you're not acting on every single one of them every single day, putting everything you can into them, you're probably dwindling down, you know, your value a little bit for one or the other. Focus in, lock in, grab a couple items that are the most passionate. Like think about your future self and what makes the most sense, what makes you feel the most satisfied, what makes you feel happy. Go after that, like full-fledged. Like I was telling my buddy yesterday as we were driving around to get these tags switched over and everything. I was like, bro, I walked away from a salary position. They did, you know, change it back from salary or down from salary to hourly. That's part of the reason I was leaving. I just wasn't down with that. I was like, I didn't get fucking hired to be, you know, an hourly worker. Well, I'm not here for this bullshit. Like my goal was to get as much work as I'd done and get home as soon as possible. That's why I went in early, worked through lunch. I was trying to leave by 2:30, 3 o'clock. Volume was taken care of. They didn't have no issues. It was just a bunch of cunts not wanting to fucking let me live. They probably were just jealous of the lifestyle that I had. And that's what it is. But anyway, I didn't like it mentally. It was fucking me up. I wasn't being able to focus. I was spending as much time at work as I could to focus on Web3 and interact and engage with you guys. So I made a decision to walk away. Wasn't the easiest thing to do. Didn't have a backup plan. Didn't have a safety net. Didn't have any idea what the hell I was going to do moving forward. But in a few short weeks, I picked up a couple positions, and that's the way it goes. I had to think about what I truly wanted to do and what it would take to get there, and the kind of things I could do. A couple things that really gave me a lot of encouragement was Canary Capital, the Capital Funds on or Canary Funds on X. I tried to get an interview with the guy. They were like super down and agreed with it, and I guess they checked out my socials. And he said, unless you have $1 million to sit down with me, he's not going to waste his time with some small time YouTube. And these are direct words. Small time YouTuber. Talking about crypto and shit like that. I was like, damn, what a dickhead. These guys, their office is like 20 minutes from me. I've considered going down, like, yeah, you remember me? I'm the guy that you fucking were talking shit about. But them being rich assholes, they'd probably call the police, and I'm not trying to get into that and have anybody feel threatened or anything of that nature. But he was a complete dickhead. That's what it comes. The thing about that was it inspired me. I was like, okay, I don't have $1 million. You are right about my account. I need to put in more work. I did not like what he said, but it was the truth. It's what I did not want to hear. Typically, what you don't want to hear is what you need to hear. And that's why I'm okay with being a little bit more blunt and maybe hurting feelings sometimes, because I think the little sensitive nature of a lot of people and that fuckery is what makes a bunch of people pussies. And you don't have to be that way. Like, that's a choice. So don't be that way. You know? But no, it got me encouraged to keep putting out content and start to figure out what I could do to grow. I want to have 10K on YouTube. I don't have a massive following just yet, but we're building it. We stay consistent. I've been doing it since 2021. I've been making content consistently. I think there was like maybe one semester I took off completely. Really didn't produce anything, but there was a couple other things where maybe I took like a week off or something like that. But I haven't put any long form content out in a while. I've been focusing on the short form. But with that being said, there is some long form content that is coming up very, very, very shortly. I've been kind of working on how I want to like produce it. I didn't want to just ramble off a bunch of stupid shit. I wanted to make it like a nice video and see what happens from there. But either way, guys, I wanted to remind you that the Seekers are shipping in less than 2 weeks. Dude, in a week, you realize it'll be August, right? Like 2 weeks, we're in August. All right, guys, check it out. The phone is going to be shipped in 2 weeks. Excited to see that come out. Damn, these guys stream for a minute. If you didn't get your pre-order in, sorry about that. But also, guys, if you ever wanted to come on and join the chat, I am looking for people. I've been asking pretty much every time I've streamed, which is probably the last, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months. Trying to get guests on here. I can't pay you. You got to want to do it, or you got to be a friend or something like that. But I've been looking to get more guests, more people on here. I can continue to talk, but it would be more fun to have more people included on the show. And if you don't want to show your ugly face, then just use your PFP. It's completely fine. Who gives a shit? I would rather somebody with their face being shown, but if you're self-conscious of that or whatever the case is, you can, hide your face. But I am looking for somebody. would love to have more guests. Would love to have some people on here to talk to about the different things. But if we got to keep it at Spaces, we'll do the best we can. But like I said, guys, later on today, we have 11 o'clock with the daily stream. And then at 3 p.m., we are going to be joined with Marinade Finance, Wombat, and Marky's going to be hosting with me as well. Other than that, guys, got some work to do, got some short content to record, edit, engagement to get done, and some applications to fill.